Just a heads up, the album that I'm going to be talking about, and by extension this video, has themes of suicide and gender dysphoria. If any of those things may be triggering to you, you might not want to watch this video. Astrid is a musician who was, and still is, very important to my transition. Almost like fate, I found her music about a week, if even, after I started transitioning online. It was sometime in June of 2024, and I found some Spotify playlists with a cute picture on Femtinel's page. I tried finding it and it's gone now, but when it was still up, I found a song with the most colorful art called Cat Girl Anthem. I saw it, and I knew I just had to listen to that album. The rest is history. I was obsessed. But this isn't about this can't be good for me, but I feel great. Shortly after, in August of 2024, Astrid released Viscera, her darkest album yet. As of writing this video, it is also her most recent album, although a new one is coming very, very soon. Not much is known about Astrid, as she is a very small artist. The only real information is directly from her songs, social media posts, and Bandcamp. She is a trans woman born in September of 2002, and currently based in Chicago. Viscera is an album about her personal life, so most of the information you need will be within the lyrics. Keep in mind that many of these lyrics are probably exaggerated or straight up fabricated, either to tell a more interesting story, increase relatability, allow for more interpretations, or for the sake of privacy. So if I interpret any of the lyrics just flat out incorrectly, or just say something about her life that isn't true, that's why. If you've ever been heartbroken, depressed, or transgender, you will probably like this album a lot. Porcelain, the art of disappearing, opens with the haunting melody of ghostly synths. Already, the album art is burnt into your head. You are walking through the graveyard, all the spirits are being unleashed. It is the dead of night, you are walking blindly. This is exactly what an opening song should do. A huge part of the song is being unable to sleep, which is ironic because I listened to this album at 2 a.m. when it dropped. Artificial light is poison in me. Refers to light bulbs and computer phone screens preventing sleep. This could also potentially be referencing the other harmful effects of using phones for social media and such. Are pills used to treat narcolepsy, which is a disorder which causes you to be sleepy in the daytime. It is also used to treat ADHD. As a direct side effect, it can cause insomnia. In the chorus, she proceeds to describe a death being witnessed. As the title, next line, and a good chunk of this album would suggest, this image may be the image of herself after taking her own life. Floorboards are so selfish, the way that they creak, so egregious. So outrageous. Throughout all of Astrid's discography, she has a tendency to call herself selfish. I call this a stretch, but this line may be calling herself an inanimate object and being selfish for daring to ever communicate. Considering a good chunk of this album is about her breakup with an abusive partner, it is probably the same one later sung about in Selfish Creature. It was described to have called her a Many lyrics are also super visual, painting a picture that just fills you with such despair. It makes a nice contrast to the absolute bang that chorus gives off. The song finally ends on what is probably the synthesizer equivalent of a sigh. And let me go. Which leads us into the song starts off with a very mystical beep-boop melody, before harmonizing the lyrics with the most unintelligible nightcore sounding singing. This is beautiful, and it really shows off how good Astrid and Charlotte are as a team at producing these beats. Lyrically, the song continues the themes of sleep deprivation and depersonalization. She sings about being stuck in place. The chorus then begins after the coolest transition of all time. The chorus sings about using drugs and self-harm to cope with how she feels. It ends with what is quite possibly the hardest lyric of all time.
I just want it once.
I'd be lying if I told you I knew what it really means. It's mostly just vibes. Maybe the vibes are the meaning. Doing reckless things in the name of vibes, emotions, and feelings instead of thinking logically about it.
Telling me shit upon the heartstrings, looking around and why are they laughing? I give you my soul and made it the truest. Don't mean when they say that they want real music.
As a musician myself, this part is hella relatable. I've always had to hide any semblance of real passion or emotion behind some kind of layer of irony because I know damn well it's going to get made fun of to my face no matter what by family or people I used to call friends. So I better at least look in on the joke. This bridge then becomes really uplifting with the next lines though.
It's hardly enough, but I'm still gonna do it. That's why I don't listen to pussies and losers.
It's surprising because this album generally doesn't have many genuinely upbeat moments, as you'll see later on.
Any moment now and it may just crash out. I can make it look like suicide.
The song is pretty self-explanatory, but man does it go hard. I love the one verse the song has because it just reveals so much. She says she doesn't need this person, yet immediately starts listing off tons of really unhealthy coping mechanisms. She is angry. She is not rational at all. She is not pretending to be. The beat for the song is beautiful. The simple acoustic guitar, the drums fading in like rolling wind, the clicks. It's really good. 2009 is probably the most blatant she is about her personal life in any of her songs. Like, potentially her entire discography. That being said, it somehow manages to be extremely relatable because it's about nostalgia, which is the thing you have the second you have a memory. You replace the individual memories of Astrid with your own, but the feeling is still the same. You're reminiscing, you're comfortable because you're living in the past, but you're sad because at the same time you're not. The word nostalgia comes from the Greek word algos, which means pain, but also longing. Without the pain of now, there is no nostalgia, but sometimes the past was painful too.
And my old boy clothes don't bother me, but I sorta did, but I didn't know it yet.
This line is the most relatable thing ever. When I was smaller, I didn't really care how I dressed, unless I thought it was actually just offensively ugly. But I realize now that my apathy to how I dressed was directly because I didn't like anything made for boys. Despite all of this, I'd still end up being nostalgic for a time when I had no clue I was trans because, oh, I didn't experience dysphoria. Yeah, you fucking did. You just got so used to it that at rock bottom was your baseline and you couldn't do anything about it. Now that I've actually seen the light, it feels like I'm being stabbed when I get called my dead name, even though it's still a daily occurrence. Even before seeing the light, though, I was still extremely depressed at my baseline, so no, things were absolutely not better back then. Even high off the blue pill, I could still tell something was off. My old boy clothes bothered me.
And my old boy clothes don't bother me, don't bother me.
At the end of the second chorus, she repeats the line without her correction, as if she's trying to convince herself that it's the truth, that things really were better back then. After all, if things weren't better then, how could it ever?
Went down to the nearest town, about 2 days walking, paralyzed in fear of them stalking. In reality, I don't think that there's anyone left, but I wouldn't even know it.
Shoulders describes Astrid going to a store far away in order to avoid anyone she knows seeing her pick out dresses.
In the fitting room, start undressing, pause momentarily, gaze down at myself. Then through the mirror, I don't like when I stare. When I see myself, I see weakness and guilt, misdirection and fright.
This is an experience many trans people have, an itching voice telling you something is wrong when this is a point you should be experiencing euphoria. She refers to herself in third person as her. She is disconnected from her own body. We can assume she is at the very least mid-transition at the point this song is set, based on the fact that she's correctly gendering herself. But she feels shame in a way that maybe isn't even dysphoria, but rather the idea that it's weak and shameful to transition in the first place, as if it's some form of running away from your problems. She then proceeds to list every single perceived flaw in her body, culminating with,
And features just like his, your shoulders just so broad, you always look so tacky.
I'm assuming his is referring to her pre-transition self. Shoulders are often a common point of dysphoria among trans girls. A lot of dresses place a ton of emphasis on how your shoulders look.
Selfishness and lies. I just wish I had died. No, you cannot hide. But I would always.
Shame for even trying to transition returns, and wanting to take an easier way out appears. Gender dysphoria is one of the worst things ever, and I would not wish it upon even the people who want me dead. You can avoid people perceiving you as the wrong gender if you hide, but unless you fully seclude yourself, that's not entirely possible.
When there's no one left to please, wonder who would even be.
People are told to be themselves for their entire lives, but in reality, being yourself results in being an outcast and sent to the Bone Crush and Drill 6000. Why the fuck did I write that in my script at fucking 12 a.m.? As such, you end up hiding who you are and just feel like shit all day. It's really just a lose-lose. When this album first dropped, I was still with a group of friends who I hadn't come out to yet. About a month later, they revealed that they fucking hated me. I hadn't even come out to them yet. I was planning to do that very day. They thought I was weird, and for fuck's sakes, my personality was watered down around them. After that, I was more myself, though. I was a crazy bitch, and everyone liked me more then. Joke's on them, stupid. So anyways, moral is people hate you either way, but at least if you're yourself, you will like yourself. But yeah, that line hits harder after that experience. I didn't even really realize I was changing myself to cater to them.
Everyone goes away, everyone goes away.
Something I really love about the song is just how much the beat contrasts significantly to what and how she sings. It's some surreal faint glimmer of hope. It reminds me again of the album art. While she is walking blindly through the graveyard, she is holding a glowing golden cage with a bird in it, a guiding light. From her back, a pair of wings, sharp like knives as if to dissuade anyone from coming near, glowing blue like an angel as if a sign from above that you are special, you are to be protected. Everything We Left Behind is a song about longing over a love you lost. It's also a banger.
And I kept a piece of myself and the things we left behind. Couldn't even stand to get a half a light. Couldn't fake being a storm if I fucking tried. How's your little heart in this palm of mine?
She clearly felt that this person completed her, and views the breakup as a fumble on her part. Yet, in contradiction, she later sings,
In this palm of mine, everything crumbles in my hands, right? Isn't that just what you said last night? Don't take it back, don't try. You can either leave or live with it. Either fucking way, goddammit, let's finish that.
revealing that her partner blamed her for everything, and she had to stand up against them and end it over them. But clearly this blame was leaking into her head. We, as people, tend to miss relationships even when they're bad for us. Our brains do not want us to be alone for some fucking reason. As such, we see the poison right there, and we're already thirsty. The way the song starts is beautiful. The song starts off with her singing about leaving a boy, most likely the same partner mentioned in literally all of these songs.
Now I'm picking up the pieces, right?
She describes the relationship as shattered, foreshadowing that she will rise from above this.
How could you sleep at night? It's only skin deep. What you mean? Sing my teeth and right.
Her pain is being downplayed either by herself or from that boy. Regardless, she's aware that it's being downplayed. She won't be fooled.
She just want my weed in spite of Lord.
A new person is introduced, a girl. She will become important later.
Don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up again. Astrid, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up, don't fuck it up again.
She repeats to herself, she still blames herself for the failure of her last relationship. She wants to take her second chance that will soon be revealed.
Weed and Sprite, bring her to her knees in time. Love to hear the way she whines and says she's mine. I know, I know, I know. I know, I know, I know, I know.
She found a new person to fall in love with, and this person is none other than her current girlfriend, producer, and known menace to society, Charlo. It has to be. She's literally on the single art, for fuck's sake. Assuming I'm right, which I mean, come the fuck on, I'm always right, this is an extremely wholesome song, which makes this the only song on this album that I can even remotely say this about. Again, like Bruises, one of two moments on this album where genuine positive emotions are felt, out of the ashes of pain and sadness, of course. But anyways, this would also be one of the very few times Charlo's actually kinda referred to in one of her songs. She's directly named in Did I Come In At a Bad Time? She's a frequent collaborator, often having verses, but ironically, most of their verses together are about how many other people they're gonna fuck. It's very rare that Astrid sits down and writes a track just saying, "This is my girlfriend Charlo, and I love her very much." I'm going to talk about Mia Zeph and Egomaniac together because it'd be difficult to analyze them separately. It's like trying to talk about Parable without talking about Parabola. Yes, I did just compare Gen Z electronic club pop girl to the critically acclaimed progressive metal band Tool's magnum opus Lateralis. Wait until you see which two artists I'm going to directly compare Astrid and Charlo to later. Hint, they're also critically acclaimed. The beat to Mia Zeph is a haunting music box type melody. If it wasn't obvious by the two titles, these songs return to the themes of selfishness.
No, you can't run from me, so tell me what you want on me. Don't care if it's what I need. I need someone here to comfort me.
Astrid acts in a way that is extremely clingy. However, it's justified in a way.
Always leaving little lies. I'm grateful for their time. I'm not really, I just have obligations to people I don't even really know. Wow, people I don't even really like. Damn, they don't really care about my time or my interests. They just want a picture on motherfucking mention. Damn.
Most relatable line ever. Mia Zeph. I low-key feel like a zoo animal to some people. However, the assumption that no one cares about her is, well,
it's all in my head. I'll paint the walls red. There's a gun and a lockbox under my bed.
Astrid very likely has severe trust issues from her abusive relationship, to the point that the theme of suicidal thoughts return by this point, and it becomes way more consistent in the album from here on. These thoughts linger for a long time. This is the point where the song actually clicked for me. She's trying to recover, but she needs people. But those people don't want to be with her because she seems too desperate and clingy. As such, this reflects back onto her perception of herself. As such, she writes the songs in a way that really makes her seem like an... Can I just say, holy fuck that transition, no pun intended, and that fucking beat, holy shit. The one verse that the song has continues exactly where Mia Zeph left off, talking about the effects of her past relationship. I spelled effects with an A, like a silly, stupid bitch.
Authenticity games, I'm never winning them. Give it all that I've got, and this is where I ended up.
This calls back to Bruises. She's always trying to be real, and it isn't working out for her, so she ends up being fake to others.
I know I'll never be enough, but I could buy her so much stuff.
By this line, she's still focusing on herself, but she's also revealing that she cares for others too. She wants to love the subject, but she doesn't believe she can be loved by just being herself, or so she believes. And as such, she buys the subject things, hoping that will make up for it. Again, her sense of self-worth has been ruined by her past abusive relationship.
Everything is crumbling around me.
First off, holy fuck, that auto-tune thing is so cool. Second off, this calls back to Everything We Left Behind, except instead of this being used to place herself at fault, it's simply a statement of how bad things are getting. Despite most of Egomaniac repeating what other songs have said before, it's completely recontextualized. Even the clinginess from Mia's F becomes more commanding sounding. Soul Eater starts with the beep-boop equivalent of a funeral organ. A huge theme of the song is the grand size of all we know and don't. The scale of time that is a life.
That's not who I am anymore. He was swept by the tide and washed on the shore as a lifeless corpse.
She mentions a he. In this context, I assume this refers to herself pre-transition, like in Shoulders.
I'm haunted by his ghost, looking for a way home in the absence of light. Entities hide just out of my sight. Ushered in by the afterlife.
Yet again, the visual death theme appears. If you can't tell, I love visual lyrics. This lyric is either A, about how the version of you before transitioning is still lingering in a way, either because you see people who knew you from before, or because of physical traits that still remain. Or B, it's about how memories of her abuser won't fucking leave her. I very well could see this go either way, but I do personally think it leans towards transness.
In a quiet moment, between the river Styx and existence that was always riddled with bitterness and spite.
The river Styx in Greek mythology is the main river connecting the realm of the living to Hades, the underworld. She is saying that she never really got to enjoy her life because she was always constantly hating for what has been done to her.
Always stressed, try my best, I can never get some damn rest. I can never get some damn rest.
This line is nearly word for word a lyric from This Can't Be Good For Me.
Self-inflicted at that, always give my damn best so I can never relax.
Either this feeling never left her, or this is written about the same time period. Holy fuck, this is my favorite song in the album. Low-key, I can't even lie. Mutually Assured Destruction has a beat that's so... I don't know how to describe it. Like acoustic guitar, I think. It's really sad, but then...
Let the dissonance ring, I find comfort in it now.
The distortion, it's so good. And right as she said dissonance too, like... This is how you know Astrid and Charlotte are the Doom and Madlib of their time. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I said it. Anyways, I think this is sort of meaning to find comfort in the harsh clashing scene and the memories of a relationship before a breakup, as the song later suggests. And then this fucking melody.
No use in getting out, so you might as well fall apart like you always have. So irresponsible, but I'm really moving forward, I think.
It feels like she's falling as she's singing this too, like, holy fuck.
Blink and miss it, living off commission, knowing go and live it, it wasn't worth it, is it?
Wait, where have I heard that melody before?
Looks can be deceiving. You seem to stop the bleeding. My life is lost on meaning. You made my head go round there. Looks
can be deceiving.
Holy fuck, that auto-tune thing, like holy fuck. So yeah, this song interpolates clicker training from Puppy, which is so awesome. Anyways, this song is about
Guess it's time to end it. I made my final exit. It was all my fault, and I admit it. I admit it.
yeah, she wants to kill herself. Breakups fucking suck. She still has feeling for this person, but she knows she had to end this relationship.
I know there's something missing. Still think about us kissing. Celebrate indifference. I know you never listen, but that's another nonsense.
She's trying to dilute everything bad so she can enjoy longing over this person, though. However, her feelings for this person go up and down to the point where you can't really pinpoint what she really even feels, which is accurate. That's how that works. Heartbreak is this really confusing mess of sadness, anger, and nostalgia. Again, Algos, nostalgia is pain. Low-key, the song is the reason why I want to make this video essay, but I can't even analyze it because my mind is so clouded by the fact that it's so good. To exhume is to dig up a dead body, or more figuratively, bring up forgotten dead information. The song starts with her own doubt.
When's the last time you used your head? Everyone said you were better off dead, so you had to prove them wrong, but it what it cost. What have you lost? Just to retain some petty type of attention.
The beat starts blasting horns and jingling. It's so dissonant and fire.
Burn it up, tear it out. You know how to let me down. You give me the run around. I just can't take it now. Let me go, 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 let me go.
This chorus genuinely feels like she's begging, pleading for God to just let her die.
It's okay, I just needed some time alone. I just needed some time alone. I just needed some time to collect all my thoughts. Put my heart in a box, wait for it to stop. But I'm so tired of me.
She's shutting in. She doesn't want to interact with others. She assumes they don't like her. Even though this line is written as though she's insisting this to a concerned friend. As such, she spends her time by herself, the person she hates. The hatred will grow. She wants herself to die. As if herself is another person that she must sacrifice for her own good and the world. In Mia Zeph, an egomaniac, she is the center of the world. It is a big deal that she is throwing it all away. Oh my gosh, even just typing the title of the song just felt extremely sad, like I'm clinging onto something, which is weird because I never felt that kind of desperation when listening to this song before, but it makes sense because that's just what the song's lyrical content is about. It starts with this awesome oceanic type thing, which is so good. Oh my gosh, I love like ocean sounding music. This song is pretty self-explanatory. Like pretty much every other song on this album, she's haunted by her memories, but still blames herself for all of this. Despite this being one of the most upbeat songs of this album, this is probably the most agony she is in through the whole thing. In Pathological Liar, Charlotte records Astrid's vocals through a Discord call while she was on the other side of Earth.
It's a survival thing. You learn understand it, but further down the distance of your plans.
Jokes aside, this song provides an extremely small yet extremely critical bit of information. She vaguely tries to justify any and all self-destructive behaviors because she wants to live. That being said, though, the song is called Pathological Liar. This could just be her making up an excuse to get people off her back.
If the moonlight were yours, if your ashes come to life, would you please just lay me down? It's so pretend.
This song is hype as fuck. That being said, she's at her most self-destructive. She doesn't care anymore. She's already attempted, and she failed. She's isolating herself from everyone like an exhume, but now she's aggressive about it. She's actively trying to ruin every relationship she has, because as we saw in Mia Zeph, she knows these people don't care about her anyways. She's resorting to drugs, as seen in the slow verses.
The cloud is taking his hold, and I'm too weak to say it. 40 pills in a day, shit. All the shit just to chase it. I see I'm going complacent. I just lie here wasting.
And in the fast choruses.
I've been geeking like a motherfucker, snoring 4 lines. They run a length on my phone screen. You ever fuck off a blow, then you really fucking know I'm so damn cold.
For the record, Klonopin is a drug used to treat anxiety, panic disorders, and seizures. It makes you drowsy, which explains why she feels like she's wasting while on it, especially since she's taking a lot. Surely not 40, I hope, because I think that would low-key kill you. Like, I'm 2% sure she was exaggerating here. And that chorus, and the drums, oh my gosh, and the...
Don't bother to call on my phone.
Screaming, oh my gosh. I remember I first heard the song day one, and I was like, you know, she should totally collab with Fentanyl. Like, that would be so cool. Like, I think there'd be potential there. Too bad Fentanyl's like 4 million times more famous, and they aren't really super similar in genre most of the time. That'll probably just stay a dream. Unfortunate. Despite all of this is probably the most confident she is in the entire album. Even though it feels like all the progress of the whole album has just been erased, even in Egomaniac she wasn't this confident or demanding.
Everything you give, but you get it right back like that. Said I look good in all black like damn.
Anyways, her reliance on drugs and sex and money calls back to songs such as Crashout and Mia Zeph. As she said in Crashout, any minute now. This song is the minute. There will be no survivors.
Nature is not kind nor cruel, but indifferent. She's indifferent. Nature is not kind nor cruel, but indifferent. That's for wishing it. That's for wishing it.
Indifference is quite possibly the most abstract song in this album, which means it's the most difficult to make an interpretation of because, as you've seen before, everything I've made is restating the line or a stretch. But it also means if I'm wrong, it's less embarrassing, okay? So yeah. The chorus is very interesting. Mother Nature, the she, doesn't give a fuck. Whenever I think of this line, I just think of being outside in the dead of the night and barely seeing the silhouettes of trees in the beigeish gray sky. It reminds me of an atheist's belief in death, that consciousness just ceases, no reward, no torment, just nothing. The true neutral of afterlife. You will not know you're gone. You will not know you were ever. You will not, because you no longer exist, as if you never existed. A null state.
Blindness to suffering is inherent of the consequences of natural selection.
This calls back to pathological liar. Natural selection means the weak die, and as such, she stays blind to pain, both to herself and others, as a survival thing. Again, natural selection. Death is natural. One day you will die. The album ends with static. It is not a happy end. It is not a sad end. It's indifferent. If you got this far into the video, I want to thank you. If you enjoyed, do all the stuff YouTubers typically ask you to do. I'm planning on doing more video essays on this channel. I chose this as my first because Astrid's music played a critical part in my life, and also, ever since War Girl came out, I've been hyperfixating on her music again. I was actually inspired by the video essays that Astrid herself made. They're gone now, she unlisted them. Literally, they're still up when I started making this. But I loved how cozy they were, and I enjoyed the genre of a girl passionately talking about her current hyperfixation that I would have otherwise never even cared about. I kind of want to fill that void in. I think my next video is going to be about liminal space in N64 games, so stick around if that interests you. Or if it doesn't interest you, but you think I'd make it interesting. I do more for music, but I'm worried about getting a copyright strike, and I don't want to be that music YouTuber who only talks about one or two musicians, even if I like these musicians a lot. Anyways, Astrid just released the new single Killing Stalking for her new album, Sucker. I had to get this video done before she releases that album, because I know it's gonna top this one. She's low-key on a roll. But yeah, listen to that single, because I listened to it in class at like 8 a.m., and I clearly was not prepared to listen to the best song ever, even though I was fully expecting it to be that. Because the entire time I had my mouth over my... Because the entire time I had my hand over my mouth, just in shock, with, my eyes wide. And, after it was done, I was just, like, I fucking cried. Like, I was out of breath, too. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, listen to Killing Stalking. Listen to Viscera if you haven't already. And, just listen to the rest of it, too. Why not? That alive, I'm grateful for the time. I'm not really, I just have obligations to people I don't even really know. Wow, people I don't even really like. Damn, they don't really care about my time or my interests. They just want a picture or a motherfucking mention. Damn.